All right, this segment is gonna be interesting, man. Bubba Dub, the comedian, the dude that's known for saying trash. LeBron, you trash. AD trash. That guy, cool guy, man. He was on First Take, not First Take. He was on Undisputed a couple of weeks ago, man. So he's getting a lot of notoriety and a lot of highlight. You know, people starting to recognize him, man. And when you actually hear him talk about sports, besides trying to be funny, you know, he do make a lot of sense when he talk, man. So he was on the 520 podcast. I think that's Jeff Teague's podcast. And they had a lot of conversation about you know, a lot of things, man. But they asked him particularly about the GOAT debate, you know, as it pertains to Kobe, Michael, and LeBron. And you know, he's a LeBron guy. He's rooting for LeBron. He's rooting for the Lakers. And I think it's interesting how he answered the question and how he explained it, and then the conversation that followed after that. So I'm gonna play for you what he said, but before I play it, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to us on the YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed. And this episode is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. So here's a word from the sponsor. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to play fantasy sports. I want to tell you about the easiest way to get in on some NBA action with Underdog Fantasy and their pick'em game. Just find your favorite player, or any player for that matter, pick higher or lower on that player's stats, and you can win up to 20 times your money in one night. Pick between 2 or 5 players to fill your pick'em entry. Get every pick right, and you can net yourself some serious cash. Use the promo code ManDownSports, and you can get your deposit doubled up to $100. You got to check on the map to make sure your state is eligible to play Underdog Fantasy. But as soon as you do, and if your state is, go ahead and download Underdog Fantasy's app. Use the promo code ManDownSports, and you can, like I said, you can get that $100 match on your first deposit. And I would want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring Man Down Sports. All right, so Bubba Dub, he was on the 520 podcast. They asked him his opinion about who he thought was better, or how does he rank the NBA players of all time, the best NBA players of all time. And this is the answer he gave.
I cheated, bro.
Yeah, it's cool.
Then Ron start rapping.
Who you like better? Like, who your all-time great? Is it Bron or Mike?
Me personally, I'm gonna rock with Bron, just from this standpoint of right here. And there's nobody fault with this and that. Boy, because a lot of people come from single parent home. Mike had his mom and dad. Mike had structure. Yeah. LeBron didn't have structure. LeBron's situation could have went a lot of ways for a young man coming to an NBA at that level. It could have went a lot of ways with bro, sure. But it didn't.
You're right. True.
For him to withstand whatever he withstand it. I ain't never heard this nigga in no scandal. I know he fucking hoes allegedly. I don't care down what y'all say, but we never hear about it. PR team immaculate. I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, no smut on Bron.
To be who he is in this world, in this evil world we live in.
Yeah,
I say Bron. But being honest, skill wise, MJ. Skills wise, MJ.
Yeah, MJ was different.
I think Kobe got more skills than all of them.
Yeah, but he copycat.
Well, where you think Jordan got it from? Dr. J and them. So stop saying all that copycat and shit.
That nigga
Jordan got that from Jesus.
And I love Kobe.
See, that's where you're wrong. I love
Kobe.
MJ different.
Hey,
but he got his move from that
Crown
Dr. J,
Royal
Oscar
drinking
Robertson, all those.
Hell no.
So we from that. We fuck with Oscar Robertson. I'm
trash. Hell no.
Hey, tell me your story about Oscar Robertson.
No, we died. I shared it off camera. Because his nephews, they fuck with me. Shout out to my nigga Pete and them. You know, I'm on your uncle ass though. But pause.
Thank you.
But you out of pocket for saying that motherfucker Michael Jordan learned his game for Dr. J.
We watched a lot of people, bro.
Man,
Mike just didn't learn that shit overnight, bro. We got to be real and be realists in this game.
He definitely took some of his game from Dr. J.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Not that left hand.
So what? Like, so did he have a mid-range? Like Dr. J? Did Dr. J have mid-range?
Where did Jordan get his mid-range from?
Fade away?
Where did Jordan get his mid-range from?
Gym.
God.
His daddy?
Where did Kobe get his from?
Jordan.
No.
For sure.
I thought that was interesting, man. But, you know, it was – so toward the beginning, he did say LeBron is his GOAT, right? Which is what a lot of people would say for someone that might be their favorite player, or somebody that might be – they're affiliated with in some way, or somebody they respect a whole lot, right? So some people kind of side with that, and you'll know when they're looking at it along those lines when they start citing things like non-basketball attributes, like he was raised by a single mom and he beat the odds, and he met expectations and exceeded them, and all of those things, and oh man, who can play this long and be that good? Who is this good in year 20? Who's that good at age 38? Like, those are things they're saying when they start talking about LeBron, or oh man, he's got the scoring title. But what they won't do is actually go to the film and critique the game and say, this is his ability, this is what he can't do, this is what he can do, this is his strengths, this is his weaknesses, and then look at it against Kobe and Michael's strengths, weaknesses, and this is what he can do, this is what he can't do, and then say, well, with what their strengths was and what their weaknesses was, who was able to get more out of what they had, So, you can implement the resume in by saying, I was good at this right here, and I was good at this, and I was good at this, wasn't so good at that, but this is the results from it, right? And when you do that, you quickly find out that Michael Jordan and Kobe both, as a basketball player, was better than LeBron. And then when you start to add up what they actually did with their skill set, as far as how often they won, Kobe and Mike both beat LeBron out at that as well. What LeBron beat them out of is how good he was for how long, and being that he played for so long and was so good for so long, his numbers is going to exceed theirs, because he's playing longer. And so that's one thing. Like if I'm arguing for LeBron, I would use that too. But if I'm being objective and I'm just judging the basketball talent, and I want to put someone, if I have a GOAT list, I'm going with the best player as high as possible, right? Like if I got two players and one is better, obviously when I critique their game, one is better. But let's say that guy that's better didn't accomplish much. Like let's say like Carmelo Anthony. If I do a list of who the best players were, Carmelo Anthony is going to be higher than a lot of players, right? But then when you start looking at the resume, that's where they can make up their ground. For example, maybe Dirk. Let's say Dirk. Carmelo might be a better basketball player than Dirk, but some of the things that Dirk has accomplished makes it very hard for you to argue that point just based off the accomplishments. But if we just judging the basketball attributes and strengths and weaknesses, is Melo. Melo's the better player. On the GOAT list, you're gonna have Dirk higher because of his resume. So that's that. I mean, it's two ways to look at it, but I think one outweighs the other. I think who the better player is outweighs just the resume. So you just can't, have a nice resume and not be nowhere near close to the guy that doesn't have quite the resume, and then be considered better, man. So but when he got to LeBron, he was describing, how he was raised and what he overcame is why he's the GOAT. Like, that don't even make sense. What you accomplish or based on the expectations make you the GOAT. Nah, who's the better player? And then when he got to MJ, he was like, but if we just talking about skill wise, MJ's better. So what he's telling you is, personally, I like LeBron better because it's more near and near to my heart. The fact that he overcame all that stuff and did what he did, that's a personal decision on mine. But if I'm thinking objectively and I'm just critiquing the game, it's MJ all day. And then he said Kobe was even more skilled than MJ. Imagine it. But we already know this. We already know MJ is highly skilled and Kobe is highly skilled. We already know those are probably the two best players we've ever seen play. We already know that. Like, people are admitting it, that those are the two best. But then they still go with LeBron for some other reason that, like, we're not even like, LeBron is the only person that gets graded like that. Nobody else goes to Kobe or MJ and start thinking about what they overcame and using that in a GOAT debate. Nobody's saying, hey, let's go and look at their childhood and see who deserves to be the GOAT. No one wants to go in and talk about Bill Russell playing in the era where, they didn't even want black people to play. In a city that didn't want black people there. In an era where you wasn't getting paid much, where you had to go and work a summer job, or probably even work while you was even playing during the season. Like, nobody even talking about that. Nobody's talking, like, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good of a basketball player were you, and that's all that matters. I don't care what you overcame. I don't care what your childhood makeup was in your household. I don't care if you had both parents or one parent or zero parents. I don't care about that. That's for I don't know, for us to see which documentary was the saddest. But as far as basketball ability, who's on the GOAT list, who we're ranking, where we putting players at, I don't think your outside of your off the court stuff have anything to do with it. Tell me what you did on the court, and I factor in a little bit of your resume in with it. But for the most part, Kobe and Michael Jordan were better players than LeBron, and that's how I got it. I got Michael Jordan number 1, I got Kareem number 2, and I got Kobe number 3. That's how I got it, and it looked like Bubba Dub probably got it the same way.